Hey guys, back with another video on You're Not Alone. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me to get on the algorithm. But in this video, I want to let you know that the longer you stay on semen retention, the more you're going to have people try to be in competition with you. And I'm not saying that semen retention is the direct cause for people wanting to be in competition with you. It's human nature to be competitive. Not just human nature, it's the masculine thing to be competitive. You always want to make sure that you're the best in the room and just shining. And it's just a majority of guys that's kind of unaware. But to the aware people that went through ego death and all those different things, we don't really operate in like ego and trying to compete with people. So you'll get people trying to compete with you even if you're not on semen retention, but they'll only try to really compete with you if they view you as a threat. Semen retention isn't the end all be all that's going to put you that you need that for people to view you as a threat. You get me? You can have like your own talents, your own aspirations, and just something about you that will probably trigger people. And because you trigger their insecurities, they're going to want to compete with you. But semen retention is definitely going to increase the frequency of people wanting to compete with you, only for the fact that you're doing something that a lot of men aren't doing. You're the 1%. And honestly, I truly believe that not a lot of men can do it. A lot of men know about semen retention, but are they doing it? No. And the crazy thing about it is that the men that's going to be competing with you, they're not even going to know why. You get me? They're just going to think that, look, I need to put this guy in his place. It's so crazy. Like the unaware man is a scary person. And that's why I don't really talk to a lot of people, because every time I go out into the world, like I have to deal with like all these like these little games that people want to do. I want to talk to people that's woke, that understands the universe, that understands God, energy, vibrations, because those are the people I can actually have a conversation with, and it's no ego. Me, I used to have an ego. Before I had my spiritual awakening, I was moving like that. I was always in competition with people. My brother was the main one. I had to make sure I had more money than him. I had to make sure like I was in the gym more than him. And looking back, that's just so petty. We are put on this earth to love people. That's the highest vibration on that little triangle that you guys be seeing. Love. You guys stay in your love vibration and things will happen for you fast. And I don't just love to like get things from the universe or to get things from God. I genuinely like people now. Like I had to go through all my trauma and BS to get to this person that I am today. But story for a whole nother video. Once you're on semen retention, the unaware man, they are going to try to compete with you. Can I give you guys a couple examples? Now when I notice when I'm on a long streak, especially now, every time I go to the gym, if the machines are like full, like I'll ask someone like, hey, you mind if I join in with you? It'll probably be the bench press. And they probably like started out like on a really like small weight. So they'll probably be like on like 50 pounds. I think that's like a 25 or 25. And I want to do the 45. So I guess that's like 90 plus the bar, whatever it is. So the person is doing a lower weight. Then I say, can I join in? Like, sure. It starts off with good energy. They do their set. I take off the plates. I put it on, and I start doing the bench press as well. Then the person is going to like, I tell him, I start taking off the plate. He's like, no, I got it. I'm like, you sure? Not even asking me for a spot or anything like that. He's going, he does it. I can tell, man, this dude's like really struggling, but I never want to like point it out or even ask people like, do you need help? Like I ask like the one time, do you need a spot? That's the farthest I'm going, because you probably just asking something, it can trigger something in someone's mind like, oh, you think you're better than me? And then I'm in a whole other mess of problems. So let him do it. He was really struggling, but he managed to do it. So I'm like, oh, you're good. And then I did my set, and in my head I'm thinking too, like, I was paying attention to this guy on the bench press for a while now. He already did like 3 sets. You get me? When you're at the gym, you normally do like 4 sets. And I was only paying attention because I'm mapping it out. I'm like, okay, like I want that machine afterwards. And I know like after he hits 4th set, he's gonna like leave. But he was just on his phone. So that's why like I walked up to him and told him like, hey, do you mind if I like come in with you? So after he did that last one, I'm like, okay, he's probably gonna like just like leave. He goes for, so that was his 4th set. So he goes for the 5th set, like after I did mine. I'm thinking like, bro, like what? And he was doing like sets of like, I think either 6 or 8, something like that. But his next one, after the 3rd one, he was going for that 4th one. He was going like really hard, you get me? He didn't even ask me for a spot. I just had to watch him and then had to run in and like spot him up. And then like I could tell like he was out of breath, like just like smiling, like trying to play it off like it was nothing. But those are some of the things you guys are going to encounter. Be aware of it. You get me? I also say be aware of it because that was like a low level threat. You get me? It was just him trying to like keep up in a sense. some people will just get triggered by you, like your energy, the one you're what's like kind of radiating off of you. They get triggered to the point where they start attacking you and like all these different things. And I don't know if I made a video on like semen retention, like you're going to attract a lot of haters, but I think that will be my next video. But the thing with people, it's just funny because how humanity works and how like the masculine energy and like this competitive nature of humans works is that a majority of people won't look at somebody and ask them like, hey, what did you do to get to this level? I want to get there as well. They're going to take you as a threat. Because they just don't think that, they're just gonna look at you like, who does this person think he is? Why is he talking like this? Why is he doing that? And like I said, a majority of people are going to ask how you got to the point that you are in your life. They're just going to start attacking you. They're going to start try to compete with you, to try to put you in your place. And this is very dangerous if you're dealing with guys that don't get a lot of girls. When I started hopping on semen retention and I wasn't really focusing on girls, but girls were still giving me attention, guys would see this and they will get so offended by it. These guys are living in scarcity. If you live in abundance, all this stuff you're worrying about would not affect you. Why does it matter to you that this one girl is showing me attention? If you have lived in abundance, you can realize there's a bunch of girls out there. You go work on yourself and then you'll be able to attract females for yourself as well. People are weird. That's why I stay away from a majority of people. Here's another example as well. Like, before I hopped on semen retention, I was always going to the same gym. And I made friends with this one guy. He was super cool. He was at the receptionist. He was a little bit younger than me. He was always taking like advice from me, like motivation and whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is a cool dude. He improves his mindset. He can really be something great in the future. And then one day I was coming down from it's like a 2-story gym. I was coming down and I went to go buy a drink. Bought the drink, went up. The guy that I normally talk to, he's like on the other side, and there's this girl like right there that's going to like ring me up. I wasn't even paying attention to her, but she sent me like a IOI, indicator of interest. Like as soon as like I put my drink down and I had like a shaker, I put the shaker down, and what happened? Paid for the drink, and while I'm paying for the drink, she asked me, "Oh, where'd you get your shaker from?" And like being like super flirty with me, and I really didn't even entertain it. And this is why I say people are weird, because. And I wasn't even like being conscious of this, but looking over, bro was kind of like just looking at us and like kind of like just like seeing how the conversation is going. And I didn't look really much into it because I'm like, yo, this dude's my friend. He's probably like trying to get my attention. So when she's finished talking to me, he's going to come up to me and talk to me. But after that whole thing had happened, she's being super flirty. I didn't give her no attention at all. Walked away, went home. The very next day I came back, bro just ignored me. I was all like, yo, what's up, bro? He's just like on his phone, just like not doing anything. I was like, okay, weird. And the next day after that, when I came back, I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, how you been? He's like, good. I'm like, anything you? He's like, yeah, I'm about to go on a trip. It was like super short and super dry. So bro was just like angry at me and just switched up on me because a girl showed me attention. It makes no sense. That's why a lot of guys, like, if I don't see that you're like on a level like spiritually and have like a higher level of consciousness, I don't want to be associated with you. I'm sorry. Like, I deal with this within my family. I deal with this with my dad, my brother. My brother is getting a little bit better, so shout out to him. But like I said as well, I don't ever take it personal and I don't get mad at these people because I realize everyone's on their own journey to like self-awareness. And I wasn't always like that. And I recognize how I was, and thinking back, like, would I hate that person? No, I just realized that everyone has to grow and everyone has to work on themselves. But that doesn't mean I have to be around you. If I see you're going to be operating like on a lower vibration and doing those like silly little games and those things of being jealous and being envious, I just separate myself. Does that mean I'm going to cut you off forever? Nah, if you come around and you grow, like, I am a very like go lucky, go with the flow type of guy. Like, I never really hold things against somebody. Unless like you really kind of like really preyed on my downfall, you try to do something really, really bad to me. Like, I always tell myself, like, A-level threats, Avenger level threats, I will block you and never really look back. But yeah, guys, just recognize that on semen retention, the longer you go, people are going to try to be in competition with you. I really say men, but some women too are going to try to do it, but it's gonna be a small minority. You gotta realize a lot of women, especially in the Western society, you have like a lot of masculine women. And women that try to operate in their masculine, it's scary. It's so scary because girls take the masculine energy and they, instead of like doing positive masculinity, a majority of them go to the toxic masculinity. And toxic masculinity is like being aggressive. It's being like, I gotta be above you, be better than you. Small minority, those are the girls that try to do like little competition things to me. Like I said, I ignore it. But just be aware, guys. The longer you go on the streak, people are going to be and try to be in competition with you. Just don't focus on it. Block out all the noise, block out all the hate, the jealousy. Focus on yourself and just be a better version than you were like a day before. And you do that and you guys be fine. But if you guys